Good morning guys, Sunday the 22nd of October, day 4 of my Australian vlogs. We're still on Phillip Island. It's actually race day at the Moto GP, although yesterday was the main race, and if you watched yesterday's video you understand why. It's very windy and the weather's meant to get a lot worse throughout the day, so they brought all the racing forward. Moto 3's at 10, Moto 2's at 11 and Moto GP is at 1. Before we get there, we're just around the corner. I just want to say a big shout out to Mark for letting Jack and I stay at his place. It's been an awesome couple of days. Barbecues, beers, and a big shout out to my good friend Emil for obviously organising that as well. Lovely to meet Paul and Scott. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, we are heading to the GP now in the wonderful XM. We didn't use it yesterday because we're on the bus and we're actually enjoying the hospitality and drinking, but today I don't plan on drinking. Just keep our fingers crossed that all the racing actually happens. Look forward to bringing you along for the journey once again. You got your massage seat on?
Yeah, I have. It's giving my butt a massage.
I've officially taken the XM off-roading. That's about as off-road as any XM owner's probably going to take theirs.
We didn't have that, you know, so much at all in the way of...
Right, as you can see, the weather's got a little bit worse. Bikes are just down there, Moto 3 race is about to start. There was 2 crashes on the sighting lap. Must be very slippery out there. But hopefully, it should be a good race. Looking forward to it, but I think I'm going to spend most of it in there.
I've gone downhill rapidly. There's been a quick deterioration here. The rain has started to fall heavier. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe get a potential hill, although we're 4 minutes away off the through. So Sasaki from pole position. So far, can't beat these. Sasaki out of the way, and Anju does go through at turn 10. It is the block pass. Can you believe this? Sasaki wants to go.
What a race. It looks like Anju's going to take the win just in front of Sasaki. And local hero Kelso is going to come through in third. We'll be around any minute. Here we go. Kelso podium at home, Phillip Island. Woo! I have just been invited down onto the grid to watch the start of the Moto 2, so I'm going to head down there now. Hello mate, how you doing? Just come down to the grid for the start of the Moto 2 race. Much thanks to Ebony and Michelin Australia. It's an awesome opportunity. We've got Britt, Jake Dixon behind us, and these conditions, let's face it, they're not too far away from being back home in the UK. I'm going to have a quick run around before we get kicked off the grid and these guys head out for the start of the race.
La televisione che aspetta e non entro.
On brand as well, look. Fully on brand. Well, that was awesome down there. We're now back up on the roof. We're going to watch the start from up here. It's going to be a race of attrition. in these conditions. Well, they've had to red flag the Moto 2 race because there are so many riders going down. But it seems bizarre because actually it's not raining. The spray didn't look too bad, but there was just loads of riders going down. They've now declared it a finish and they're going to give half points because they didn't quite get enough laps in. Tony Arbolino took the win. It's going to spice up the championship a little bit. It looks like Acosta's still going to run away with it. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm out here with a coffee and looking forward to seeing Tony come down the pit lane. In fact, here he is now. Yes, Tony! Keep pushing! Mr. Simon Grayfar!
Hey, casually wandering up with my new boots.
Lovely. I hope they're dry. So unfortunately they've had to call the MotoGP sprint race off because of conditions. Even though the rain isn't that bad, it's the wind. There's big gusts, 40-50 mile an hour gusts, and I'm glad that they did bring the main race forward to yesterday so we could watch it. That is it from the gorgeous Phillip Island circuit. We'll catch up with you in a bit. Back in the car and out of the elements. It's, well, it says 14 degrees out there, but it feels a bit cooler than that, doesn't it?
The wind is freezing.
Yeah, the wind's pretty cold. We've got 2 hours-ish, maybe a little bit longer because it's going to take a while to get out of here. So we're back at Jack's house. Yeah, let's fire it up. Vroom. Oh yeah, that's right. It fires up in hybrid. We are gonna go to setup menu, and then right. Let's do that again. Let's fire it up. Vroom. There we go. Yeah, that takes some getting used to because obviously by default it fires up in electric only. I'm gonna turn the camera off. Bye. About 45 minutes to go until we're back in the city, back at Jack's house. I just thought I would talk a little bit about Australian driving standards. Now, I've come out to Australia many times over the past, let's say, 20 years, and it's always something that I've noticed. We complain about lane discipline on dual carriageways and motorways. Trust me, I mean, I'm not saying it's good in the UK, but compared to Australia, it is amazing in the UK. I'm always hyper aware out here when I'm behind the wheel that I don't even go 1 kilometre over the speed limit because you can get nicked for it, but yet everyone's driving standards are just, on average, pretty bad. We have only used about 1/3 of a tank, and I'm not sure how many miles Jack and I have done, but we've done quite a lot because on my first day I spent a lot of time driving around Melbourne, traffic, coffees, lunch, that sort of thing. That night we drove all the way down to Phillip Island, heavy traffic leaving Melbourne, and now we're halfway back again. And yeah, I don't know how big the tank is. I'll have to do my homework when I do my review on this car, my living with review, because in the past I've only, well, I was at launch, I got the car for like an hour because Matt Watson was hogging it, wanting to do our drag race videos. I've worked out it's doing about 25 mpg on average, because on these longer journeys, of course, you run out of the electric range. The relatively low speed limits, 80 or 100k, probably help that a little bit. And something else that's awesome in here, that's something that's just played against me, but human error, not car error, is I picked my water up 5 minutes ago, and I'd accidentally turned so this has got cup cooling and cup heating, which you do find in cars like the X5 and stuff, but I put cup heating on, so when I pulled this out earlier on, my water is nice and warm, which is not what you want. But I just thought I'd talk about that feature because it is a cool feature to have. These seats, they're essentially straight out the F90 M5, which is not a bad thing at all. It's probably the best thing in the world because they are just incredible seats. They are so adjustable. They're ventilated as well and heated, obviously. Such a difference, I think, in any cars, especially cars like the M5 Comp that's got a very stiff ride. They help with comfort because the seats are so nice. So I think that's kind of a bit similar to this car because it is quite stiffly sprung. You're never going to take it out of comfort on the road, even when you're pushing on, because it feels very stiff and you do feel a lot of the road. Got back to my brother's house and yeah, jet lag is heavy now. It's only like 3:30 or something in the afternoon, but it feels good to just lie down and relax because I've not stopped since I got here. Yeah, excuse me while I just relax. I forgot to finish yesterday's vlog. Well, I didn't actually forget. I think the last clip was me lying in the bed feeling extremely tired. Yeah, you could probably guess what happened next. For those of you that haven't traveled to the other side of the world, or even to a substantially different time zone like the States from the UK, you get something called jet lag, and jet lag, like hangovers, gets worse as you get older, and I'm not young anymore. I hope you enjoyed today, which was yesterday. I'm going to start today's vlog and say goodbye to yesterday. Goodbye. See you, Jack. Oh, nice. I'll watch you get the bag out of your pocket before people are like, oh, well, you haven't picked up the poo.